It is time to kick off the winter sports season here on TV19 Sports.
Hello and welcome to Washington Technology Magnet School here in beautiful St. Paul, Minnesota, as we get set for the Section 4 3A section final game, a state tournament appearance on the line as we have Hill Murray Pioneers taking on the St. Paul Johnson Governors. I'm Sam Erickson with Michael Lawrence.
It should be an awfully good game tonight as both these teams are 1-2 in this section, with Johnson being the number 1 seed and Hill Murray being the number 2 seed. Should be a fantastic matchup for tonight.
Definitely 1 versus 2, how they scripted it when they did the seeding. Johnson defeated Harding, defeated Simley to get here. Hill Murray defeating South St. Paul and squeaking by St. Thomas Academy in the semifinals, 81-79. As you look at the matchup there, you see Hill Murray coming into this one 21-7, and Johnson with a very impressive record of 24-3.
Hill Murray comes in the game with 5 players that average over 10 points. However, those 5 players that are starting 5, they have a little bit of a short bench. Johnson is on an 11-game win streak as they went undefeated in the St. Paul City Conference, going 12-0. That sure helps out their 11-game win streak. Now, both these teams have players that each have a player that scored 50 points in a game. For Hill Murray, it's Marshawn Wilson, who did it against Simley. And then there's Jalen Mobley for Johnson, who did it a couple weeks ago, scoring 52 against Minneapolis North. It should be a fantastic game for these fans here tonight.
Absolutely, and with the tournament berth on the line at the Target Center next week, should be a great one. We'll have that tip-off coming for you in a little bit after the break, and we hope you stay with us.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your
likes you.
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
It is time to kick off the winter sports season here on TV19 Sports.
Welcome back as we are getting set here for tip-off in this Section 4 3A section final game as the introductions are just wrapping up. Both teams getting ready for what should be a great matchup.
It's going to be an awfully good game tonight as both these teams are 1-2 in the section. So they know a thing or two about winning, especially Johnson, as they come in with an 11-game win streak, going 12-0 in their conference. And Hill Murray's no slouch themselves, going second in the Metro East behind Hastings. And then you see Coach Brady Hannigan getting his team fired up.
Should be a good one with the bid to the state tournament on the line. We'll take a look at some of the keys to the game that my friend Michael has come up with here.
Yeah, the first one is handle the pressure. Johnson's going to be trying to play up-tempo and really use a full court pressure to get at the Pioneers, and the Pioneers have to play team defense. Johnson likes to score, and they like to score a lot. And then the last one is handle the emotions. I mean, it's going to be a big game. Also, coach is a little worried. They hope his team doesn't get frazzled, and they're going up against that pressure from Johnson.
Definitely, and with Hill Murray being quite the hockey powerhouse, looking to make a little bit of a noise on the basketball court. And we are set to get things going here tonight. And Johnson will control the tip as it goes to 21, Andre Smith. He swings it out to the left, gets it back. And driving baseline and up and good. Number 24, Eric Elliott.
Eric Elliott is one of 3 players for Johnson who scores in the double figures. He's scoring about 12 points a game.
So nice move there early by Elliott. As Sam Westby, number 12, senior point guard, brings it up. Nifty move, kicks it, and up for 3, and it's good. Number 22, Jack Fahey, makes his first shot of the night.
Just an excellent opportunity getting 3 points in the early going.
And they go down low, and too strong there. As the rebound goes to Marshawn Wilson, he kicks it out to Simeon Davis, who gives it Westby, now down low. Working in the paint themselves, Hill Murray, and a nice move up and under. Chris Moore with the bucket.
Now Chris Moore, one of the starting 5 players who averaged in the double figures.
And a quick 3, miss, rebound miss. And that one will fall to Wilson. He looks to push it, gets triple team, and a foul.
You know, that's Wilson's second rebound of the game. Coach Brady Hannigan was talking early in the game how he needs Wilson to be a good rebounder tonight. He can score, it's just a matter of can he get those boards and help out his team in that way.
So good early start there with the rebound. You can already see the intensity in this one. So Hill Murray with the basketball. Not sure who got called for the foul on that. Regardless, first team foul there for St. Paul Johnson. Westby picks up his dribble, gives it off to Davis. Davis to Marshawn Wilson. He'll jack it up for 3, and it's good.
You know, Wilson has had 5 straight games where he's averaging over 30 points. Shows his range there.
Elliott gives it off to number 3, Jalen Mobley, one of the stars here on this Johnson squad. He goes right, little contact, and cannot get it to go. Sam Westby pulls down the rebound. Davis tries to go cross court. Saved by Fahey, but then stolen away by Mobley. Nobody with him, and he will lay it in for 2.
You know, Mobley's no slouch himself. He averages about 19 points a game. Leads the Governors in scoring on the year.
I believe you said he dropped 50 at one point this season. Westby, nice move once again, takes it to the lane, and it's deflected. And here comes Johnson the other way, goes out to Mobley. He'll slow it up. Little move, and knocked out of bounds. Jack Fahey, looks like it'll be off the Pioneers, and Johnson will have it.
You know, this has been a pretty furious pace, and that pace definitely favors the Governors as they like to go gunning right away.
Well, Mobley with the inbound to Eric Elliott. Elliott, nice spin move, goes at the basket and in. So great move by Eric Elliott. As Fahey dribbles it up, knocked away, stolen by the Governors. And looks like we will have a foul there, as number 5, Malik Jones, was tripped up there.
It's going to be an excellent game going back and forth in the early going.
And it looks like they got that one on Marshawn Wilson. And he will want to definitely stay out of foul trouble for the Pioneers.
I mean, it's a short bench for the Pioneers. I mean, they can't afford foul trouble on any of their starting 5. I mean, they only have 6 players who have played 20 games on the season.
Mobley with the drive, baseline, and good. So Johnson getting right back into this one as they tie it up at 8.
You know, the Pioneers in the early going had great defense, but now the Governors have went on a little bit of a run to tie it up.
Westby drives, dishes it off. Nice pass, Chris Moore for the easy 2.
Yeah, just a great assist there by Sam Westby.
Excellent vision. Quarterback for the Pioneers in the fall. You can see why there. Jalen Mobley resets the offense, gets a screen to the left, and he'll throw up a 3. Just long, but rebound Eric Elliott. He kicks it out. Andre Smith throws up a long 3. That's no good. And Marshawn Wilson will come down with the rebound.
You know, that wasn't a bad shot, maybe a little bit outside of his range, but he was open.
And a quick three. And there's Fahey with his second three of this game already. And Malik Jones jacks up his own three to answer. Or are they going to say that's only a two? No, that is a three. That'll be a foul there. So the three by Malik Jones makes it a 13-11 game. The Governors trailing here, just under 14 to play. Sam Westby is going to take a breather for Hill Murray. He was replaced by number 5, Jimmy Quirk. So Fahey with the ball, picks up the dribble, gives off to Simeon Davis. Davis goes left, drives in the paint, tries the no-look. Interception, but they're going to call a double dribble on Malik Jones as he's trying to go a little too fast there.
It'll be interesting to see if Hill Murray could keep this pace up throughout the whole game with only going about 6 players.
So take a look at a couple replays. Here's the quick three from Fahey, his second of the night, and then that answer from Malik Jones to give us our 13-11 score. So there was a foul on the play, and it was a shooting foul. Marshawn Wilson will go to the line for his first free throws of the night.
Looks like the foul was on Justice Murphy for the Governors. That'll be his first on the night.
Murphy, Murphy did start. I was thinking he just checked in. So Wilson no good on the first, makes the second, and puts Hill Murray back up 3. Jones calls for the screen, dishes it off to Mobley. Mobley with it on the wing, goes into the corner. Eric Elliott likes to throw it up and just misses. Nice rebound by Fahey. Simeon Davis brings it up left side, drives by his man, kicks to Wilson. Wilson with the shot, and it's good.
Yeah, for the Governors, that has to be your first priority on defense, is stopping Wilson.
Nice take by Mobley. Rebound blocked
by Wilson.
Eric Elliott trying to go up strong, can't get it. And no good. And great job on the offensive glass by Johnson, not giving up there.
Wilson didn't have good blocking out position. It kind of led to multiple shot attempts there, luckily to get the second chance points.
It's tough with 6'6" Justice Murphy down there, as well as the athletic Mobley and Malik Jones were in the mix. I think all 3 of them pulled down an offensive rebound at some point. Wilson picks up the loose ball and is fouled on his way up to the basket.
Yeah, he just came flying in there. Great hustle play by Marshawn Wilson.
So that'll be the first person. I believe they got Eric Elliott on that one. Wilson returns to the line. They make the first. Couple of substitutions. Sam Westby returning. And number 2, Savion Benton checking in for the Governors. Wilson makes both free throws and gives Hill Murray the 18-13 lead. It's back up to the wing. That's Cedric Clark, newly checked in as he gives off. Just too long. Rebound Simeon Davis. He throws it ahead. Knocked away, and it'll stay with Hill Murray.
You know, the Governors are kind of led by a 3-headed monster, Eric Elliott, Andre Smith, and Jalen Mobley. They need to kind of get going to help this team, and so far they're struggling a little bit tonight. Hill Murray's been playing great team defense, as that was one of their keys in the game by their coach, Brady Hannigan.
Definitely. Eric Elliott looking very aggressive here in the early going, trying to attack the basket. Westby drives, can't find anybody, dishes out to Wilson. Wilson elevates above, but cannot get the jumper to go. Rebound out to Jalen Mobley as he looks to push it. Goes all the way, gets the bucket, and the foul. So nice job being aggressive there, Jalen Mobley. As you see, he averages 18.5 on the season. He is definitely one of the keys for the Governors here this evening.
Yeah, the Governors have been looking kind of pounded inside. They haven't had too much luck, but they have been getting a lot of second chances for the most part.
And so Mobley completes the three-point play. And ill-advised pass there, Fahey. And Johnson comes the other way, and they'll tie it up at 18. But now Hill Murray looks to push the other way. Westby gets trapped, tries to get rid of it, finds Marshawn Wilson, who lays it in.
Now that's the couple of times that happened. Westby's been in trouble finding Marshawn Wilson. Good player to find if you can get it to him.
Mobley driving and is fouled. So nice spin move into the lane by Jalen Mobley, drawing the contact and going to the line. So frantic pace here in the early going.
Yeah, you knew with the Governors, they want to push it, and they've been pushing it all night.
And you wonder if Hill Murray wants to maybe slow it down a little bit with their short bench, as you alluded to earlier. Maybe tough to last the full 36 minutes here this evening. But so far, we've got a 20-18 game. Hill Murray in the lead.
And if you're the Governors, you're ecstatic that Hill Murray wants to run and push the court. Coach Hannigan alluded to, like, they like to play pressure offense too, but they're just not as deep as the Governors are.
May have to dip into the bench a little bit with some players that don't have quite the experience. Wilson gets the rebound as Mobley can't hit either from the line. So Sam Westby with it, dribbling right, then goes left. Finds Marshawn Wilson. Marshawn Wilson doubled in the corner, almost trips, gives off to Simeon Davis. Finds Fahey. Fahey for three. No good.
No, good look by Fahey. Just couldn't connect.
Yep. And nice job, Fahey hustling back, gets the interception, and now he's able to push it for the Pioneers. Finds Wilson baseline, and just short as Eric Elliott comes out with the rebound for the Governors. This is Cedric Clark, who kicks in the corner. Number 10, Savion Parker, is good for three.
And Johnson will take their first lead on the night with that three-ball attempt. They've been
chipping away little by little at that early lead. Hill Murray was able to get good defense there from the Governors as Mobley takes it the distance. And he'll open it up to a three-point lead. We'll have a timeout here. And it looks like Hill Murray will want to take that one.
Yeah, good timeout there by Brandon Hannigan, kind of slowing this pace down. The Johnson crowd's really starting to get into those transitional baskets, and they're being loud.
Yep, and on the other side, I think Hill Murray getting a little sloppy with their fast-paced offense, throwing the ball away a couple times there, maybe taking a couple of too quick shots.
No, they've been a little bit of helter-skelter on their offensive end, leading to those turnovers.
It served them well to start the game as they opened up to a pretty nice lead, but Johnson has closing that gap and overtaken them with the three-point lead.
Yeah, we're not even halfway into this first half, and like it's already, both teams are in the 20 points. It's going to be a great offensive game tonight if both these teams keep it up.
So it'll be interesting to see if Hill Murray will slow it at all after this timeout.
Hannigan looks like he's not too happy with the referees at the moment.
So Davis gives off to point guard Sam Westby. Westby looks for help. And he'll push it up. Finds Fahey on baseline, and Fahey gets the floater to go.
No, your coach, you got to be happy with that, scoring a basket right after the timeout.
And Jack Fahey having a good night, a couple of three-pointers in that basket right there. It's Malik Jones of the Governors, switches court. Clark back to Jones. Jones out to Clark. Go inside to Elliott. Tries to go up. Nice defense in there. 32, Chris Moore gets the block, didn't even have to leave his feet.
You know, that defense possession, looks like the Pioneers were in a 2-3 zone.
Fahey throws it up, and it's good! Jack Fahey, his third three-pointer already this evening. Cedric Clark trying to set it up for the Governors, dishes off. Give us Malik Jones, big shot fake from Jones, but he'll keep the ball on the floor. They look inside. Savion Benton tried a little pass, almost got it back.
A little bit of a sloppy pass there by Wilson.
Hill Murray will keep the ball, and it looks like Elliott will be called for a reach-in on some aggressive defense. He doesn't like the call. Hill Murray will keep the ball. So nearly giving it back right after getting that turnover.
Yeah, it was the second straight possession that Hill Murray forced a turnover for the Governors.
That's one way for the Pioneers to get back into this one. So Elliott will take a seat after his second foul. That is 5 on Johnson. Davis leaves his feet. And it looks like his last touch by the Governors. Stay with Hill Murray. Davis a little indecisive there as he goes up for the pass without knowing where to dish it off to. Inbound goes to Marshawn Wilson. He'll shoot the fadeaway jumper.
Not a good decision
just
by
long.
Wilson.
And Johnson pushing it. Andre Smith just long. Wilson, though, hustles back on defense, and he'll get it back.
If you're the Governors, you had, when Wilson was in the corner, you have to come up there and kind of double team him.
Wilson tries to get the loose ball out to Westby for 3. Westby just long on it. Mobley cuts through the defense and good. Jalen Mobley once again very good at penetrating to that lane.
Just an excellent transition basket, finding the hole.
So Jack Fahey, leading scorer right now for the Hill Murray Pioneers. He'll dribble, get fouled. And that is number 6 on St. Paul Johnson. So Hill Murray not quite in the bonus. And that will be the second on Jalen Mobley, which could be troubling for the Governors with just over 8 minutes to go here in the first half.
This would be time for the Pioneers to get a little bit more separation with him on the bench.
Work inbounds. Ball is kicked, so they'll do it again. And they do get it in. Marshawn Wilson under the basket, somehow gets up and under and makes the bucket. Nice move there by Wilson. You can really see why he's one of the most talented players in the Metro. Mobley, though, going strong. And he's proven he's no slouch either. Mobley, a member of St. Paul Johnson team that made the state tournament back in 2013, losing to De La Salle in the semifinals. That one just long from Fahey. Johnson gets the rebound. Tie game here. Mobley shoots at the 3 and way long. Kept alive, but they're on the line as Quirk tried to save it, but his hustle to no avail. As you take a look, Brady Hannigan, head coach there of the Hill Murray Pioneers. And you know, with Hill Murray being so famous for hockey, he would love to get his basketball team into the state tournament and give something the Hill Murray basketball fans and alum something to cheer about. Malik Jones getting it set here for the Johnson Governors. Give off corner 3, no good. Carlin Clark, number 4 there with his first attempt. Wilson dribble, driving, off balance shot, almost gets it to go.
Yeah, Wilson's just trying to do too much there. He should have looked to pass it back out.
Good hustle. Fahey tries to keep it alive. And it looks like ball was knocked out, and last touch by the Pioneers.
Yeah, Wilson's doing a good job of scoring, but sometimes he has to make a smart decision and realize that maybe that's not a good attempt to do, just like that last possession. I mean, he has been double teamed. He should have looked to be passing out, finding like the open man. I mean, those perimeter shots have been there for Hill Murray. They have dropped a couple with Fahey, getting a couple of 3s in there.
I think that kind of goes with keeping the emotions in check, you know, not trying to do a little too much. As Mobley started to try and take over himself, as he nets his 3rd consecutive bucket.
You know, I thought it was a little bit of risk there by Vernon Simmons, the head coach for the Governors, leaving Mobley in there with 2 fouls, but it's paying off for a little bit right now.
She's really been a spark for their offense, keeping them in the game. Wilson once again trying to go, and They will say he was fouled. Looks like they'll get Carlin Clark on that one.
I think Wilson needs to settle down a bit. I mean, he's just trying to do a little too much. Got bailed out with the foul there, as we see Vern Simmons, the Johnson head coach.
As we saw earlier, Johnson having a very good season, only losing 3 times on the year. Definitely those losses coming against some good competition, teams in higher divisions, undefeated in conference. So Coach Vern Simmons and the Governors having a very successful season, and would love to see that continue on next week at the state tourney. So Wilson hits that free throw, and looks like he will check out of the game, as maybe Coach Brady Hannigan sensing that he's pushing things a little bit.
Give him a little bit of a breather too. I mean, he's going to be needed late in this game.
Definitely at this point in the half, give him a break and get him in there with a couple minutes left to go so he can finish it out. Andre Smith back up. They work it inside out, the long 3, and that'll be no good, and it'll go out of bounds.
And I think one thing that Coach Hannigan's doing that's kind of smart is playing a little bit more zone on defense and not playing a true man-to-man. So that way kind of saving his players' legs towards the end of the game when he's going to need them.
Yeah, it looked like when they're in the man-to-man, Johnson's really looking to attack one-on-one, and they're having some success certainly with Mobley getting in the lane. So maybe the zone, with the like I said, team defense helping them with that.
And Johnson's doing exactly what you need to do against the 2-3. Like they're just passing around the rim, around the horn, just trying to look for the open man.
And they're throwing up they're getting some good looks from the outside. That if Johnson starts making them, Hill might be in some trouble. So Westby with it now. He drives right. Almost goes all the way, but finds Chris Moore. Great pass.
Another excellent assist by Westby down low, finding the big man.
And Andre Smith now from the corner, and he makes it. And that'll give Johnson the lead once again. Nice shot there from Andre Smith in the corner. And if you didn't notice, Marshawn Wilson checked right back into the game after that brief exit.
Yeah, it's going to be you need a big game out of him tonight. He's not going to have too much rest.
Yep. Quirk drives baseline, kicks it out. Westby, low pass. Westby recovers, but can't make the 3. But he'll follow his shot. Nice hustle. Throws up a shot, looking for the foul, doesn't get it. And Johnson will take the ball. Smith give. Baseline, no good. Savion Parker, no good on that shot for the Governors. Simeon Davis slows it up, finds Marshawn Wilson, who goes the lane, but triple teamed.
Not a good play by Wilson. Not a good play at all.
And nice take there as Cedric Clark goes the distance to put the ball up and in. Yet Wilson getting that triple team. Looked like somebody got a hand in there and blocked it away.
Just being too aggressive. I mean, you're getting triple team. You cannot go against a triple team. You got to slow it down, bring it out, or do something.
Someone has to be open. There are 5 guys on the floor. Westby going a little too strong. And Mobley out in front of the pack, and he'll lay in the easy 2. And St. Paul Johnson has opened up to their biggest lead of the night all of a sudden, 36-31.
No, Mobley has 2 fouls. He doesn't care. He's still being aggressive.
And looks like timeout. Coach Brady Hannigan got a timeout in before Wilson threw up that 3-pointer. So Hill will stay with the ball. It's their second timeout of the game, and I'd have to agree with this one also.
Yeah, just try and settle down the game like how he used his first timeout. Last time they were successful getting some points on the board. Let's see if they can do it again.
Definitely, and one of the risks of maybe trying to do too much, maybe forcing some attempts, is that with Johnson liking to get out and run, some of their players can kind of creep up, and get that fast break started. As Hill Murray is still kind of trying to set up their offense, and all of a sudden a shot goes up, and before you know it, Johnson's running the other way.
Mm-hmm. And Hill Murray has been able to penetrate the paint, but I mean Johnson's been doing a good job of help defense and kind of like eliminating those opportunities, which leaves open the 3 points, and like they haven't gotten a couple of shots to fall from behind the arc. Hill Murray just has to be smart enough to recognize that, and it starts with Wilson because he's going to see the majority of the touches of the ball tonight because he is your team's best player. Yeah. He just has to be smart enough to recognize that, hey, I'm getting triple teamed. I shouldn't try and do this all by myself. Because Hill Murray has a team capable of scoring. I mean, all 5 of their starters are scoring in the double digits. I mean, just kind of have to look for your teammates who are open and get them the ball.
And that's, that's where we're having success, is that, Jack Fahey with 10 early points. You know, they were finding the open guy. Although you do see Marshawn Wilson averaging 26 points per game. He dropped, I believe, 53 on Simley a couple weeks ago. So, you know, he is going to be your main scoring threat, but, you know, maybe use him as a distraction, get some of the other guys open, and, you know, maybe he can get
He doesn't have to do it by himself.
Right, exactly. So he drives, gets the foul and the bucket. Although he doesn't have to do it by himself, maybe he's just that capable. So Wilson takes it strong.
You know, I disagree with it, but man, you cannot disagree with the finish. I mean, getting points out of a double team, but he's showing why he can score he's showing why he scores 26 points a game.
I suppose as long as it goes in. And so just misses the follow-up free throw. That'll leave Hill Murray trailing 3. Not a good job Wilson getting back on defense, however, a bad 3 thrown up there from Malik Jones as he misses the open one badly. Wilson kicks it off. Westby to Davis to Fahey in the corner. Fahey comes up short. And not sure if they'll call a foul or they'll just say Wilson knocked it out of bounds.
Now Fahey just needed to put a little more mustard on that. I mean, it was a good opportunity. Wilson was double teamed and Westby found him in the corner, just didn't get the shot to fall.
That's another thing, you know, you want to keep Fahey shooting after he looks so confident in the early going. Taking the ball out of his hands, you know, maybe questionable. Cedric Clark finds Malik Jones. And nice inside out game there by Johnson as Savion Benton finishes off that effort.
Interesting strategy here the last couple offensive possession for Hill Murray, with Wilson bringing up the ball instead of Westby.
So here's Simeon Davis with it now. He'll find Wilson. Wilson gives off more. Back to Fahey. Fahey tries a 3 off to the left. Westby there for the rebound, the bucket, and the foul.
You know, one of the shortest players for Hill Murray, and he makes an excellent job of finishing and getting some points.
And you can tell he's an experienced senior. You know, he just kind of has good court awareness. He knew where to be right on that loose ball, picked it up, and made the bucket. Long on the free throw, but he'll get it once again. Talk about knowing where to be. Unfortunately, ill-advised cross-court pass, intercepted Mobley. Mobley tries to find Jones. And Clark will set it up. They'll slow things down here into a half-court set as Jalen Mobley gets things set from the top of the key. Goes to Clark in on the wing. Back up top to the other wing. They go cross court. Malik Jones with it in the corner. It's good defense here by Hill Murray. Maybe some good patience also by the Governors, leading by 3 here as time running down first half. They go inside, and it's good. Eric Elliott, nice job attacking the basket.
Governors are just being extremely patient, as you were saying. I mean, just trying to work it in, work it outside, and finds Elliott.
Nice job, Westby once again finding Chris Moore. That's a little connection that they found a couple times here tonight. Mobley pushing the pace. Too strong. Savion Benton there for the follow-up and the basket. So Davis picks up his dribble.
No, Eric
Gets it to Marshawn Wilson. Wilson finds Moore. Moore going to the basket, and he'll get fouled.
In the last defensive series, Eric Elliott was just all over Marshawn Wilson, just trying to do anything he can to make sure he doesn't get the ball.
Definitely with Eric Elliott listed at 6'4", has a bit of a height advantage on the 6'2" Wilson. Elliott, I would say, looks a little taller than the 6'4". He's kind of wiry, probably a long wingspan. So Moore's first free throw rattles in and out. That's something else. If Hill Murray gets to the line, they're going to need to make their free throws.
Yep.
And, you know, hope the Governors can't.
You know, they're already in the double bonus. I mean, it's a 10-3 foul differential between these two teams. But Moore is about a 65% free throw shooter on the year.
Make that one. So he goes 1 for 2, just below that season average. So Hill Murray trailing by 4 here, 42-38. As you see, we got about a minute and a half left to go in the first stanza of this championship game. Long 3 goes out. Rebound, it looks like they'll call Justice Murphy for the over the back.
Oh, he was upset with that call.
I'm not so sure about that one as the ball was a long rebound. Nevertheless, that will be the foul, and Hill Murray being the double bonus, Marshawn Wilson will get to shoot 2.
Marshawn Wilson's a pretty good free throw shooter, gets about 77%. So it's a good guy to have in line if you're Hill Murray.
And he be long on that one. Wilson, the senior, potentially playing in his last game here. You know he'd like to keep his career going, one of the best in Hill Murray history.
Yeah, set the single season record for most points scored in the regular season.
And he will come up short on both free throw attempts, as this will stay a 4-point game. And ball goes out, last off the Pioneers. So far, so good in this one. It's been a lot of action, a lot of scoring, and close.
Now, if the pace keeps up, it's going to be about an 80-point game.
Andre Smith throws it up, and that'll be just short and hop over the backboard. Hill Murray basketball. I believe Johnson, when Jalen Mobley dropped that 50 points, I think that was against Minneapolis North, and
Yep.
Both teams scored over 100 points in that one.
Yeah, and they set the record for most points scored in the game with 242, beating the previous record by 1 point. Must have been an excellent game, went into 2 overtimes. Must-see basketball.
And definitely two teams that probably like to push the pace a little bit. The final was 123-119. That is a lot of scoring. Well, I suppose it was a little bit more than 36 minutes of basketball, but that's a lot of scoring for any amount of basketball.
Yep. I mean, most college games are about 40 minutes themselves, and they
rarely get up that high, if ever.
Yeah, it's just very impressive for a high school game. I mean, gotta tell, both those teams are running and gunning.
From what I see out of Jalen Mobley tonight, I definitely can see him scoring 50 points in a game, so no surprise there. So Hill Murray trailing by 4 here. About 1:13 to go here in the first half. As Simeon Davis will inbound to Sam Westby, senior point guard. And now Marshawn Wilson will bring it across half for the Pioneers. Davis in the corner tries a cross-court pass for Jack Fahey, who's got three-pointers here in the first half. Wilson holds it. He'll step back for the 3, and just coming up short. Good defense on Wilson there by the Governors. And baseline attempt there, knocked away. No foul call, and Hill Murray will end up with the basketball. Wilson looking to make a move, gets into the paint, and he'll get the floater to go.
Just excellent footwork there by Wilson, just to avoid the first defender and just staying up, pausing the second defender to get some points to fall.
Does a great job of adjusting to, get a good shot on, and he also elevates on jump shots. So it looks like Johnson will hold for the last shot here as we go to 10 seconds left in this one. And looks like they will get Jack Fahey on a foul. Should do no harm, as that'll only be the 4th team foul on Hill Murray. So be a simple inbound. Time winds down into the corner. Parker for 3. Just long. Rebound goes to Elliott, but he does not get it off in time. Doesn't go anyway. And let's take a breather there as that concludes the first half, 42-40. We'll take a look at some Jalen Mobley highlights as he led the Governors here in this first half. Had been doing it all season, and they are up to 42-40 at the end of the first half.
Look at all these highlights. I mean, they've been in transition, so he's looking to push the pace.
Definitely. You see him just penetrate the lane there. All right, so that's the first half. We will have the second half for you when we return, and we will see you then. Thanks for watching.
It's you store your guns properly.
I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
I won't have to tell so many family members. I'm sorry.
I won't hear as many scary stories.
And I won't have to tell my kids. This isn't a drill.
Please.
Please.
Do it for us.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always, lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
Hello again. We are back here at Washington Technology Magnet School in St. Paul for the second half of this Section 4 3A section final game. A state tournament berth on the line here. 42-40, Johnson leads after the first half. Been a pretty fast pace and a pretty good game so far, right, Michael?
It's been a really hectic game. I mean, both these teams are the best in the Section 1 and 2 seeds. Johnson #1, Hill Murray #2. It's been a great game, and you can tell it's been a high-scoring, high-flying one.
So should be looking for some additional good action here second half as this one gets underway. Davis kicks it out to Jack Fahey. Marshawn Wilson now tries to go baseline up and under, and he makes the land.
Yeah, he was double teamed, but he still finds the basket. Just an impressive athlete for Hill Murray.
Definitely, just a little amount of space, he can make it work. Nice ball movement there. Eric Elliott gets himself a reverse layup. It's a nice pass there from Johnson.
You know, it's 30 seconds into the second half, and it's already 2 made baskets. We're not going to expect anything less from both these teams for the rest of the game.
Wilson elevates, pauses, can't get it to go. You kind of see why Wilson wears that 23. Shades of Jordan, shades of LeBron there. Definitely inspires his play style, I would say.
Yeah, he could definitely elevate, and like he's been pausing, just trying to draw that defender last second, and then he adjusts, and the shots have been going in for him tonight.
Great job adjusting in midair. So it looks like shooting foul against the Pioneers as Savion Benton, #2 for the Governors, go to the line. His first appearance on the charity stripe this evening. And a little off on that one. Benton is 6'4" center, so might not expect the best free throw percentages out of the big man. Take a look at the foul there. Benton going up strong. And not sure who they got there. Maybe Chris Moore, 32. Number 31, Simeon Davis down there as well. Benton off again, but rebound goes to Jalen Mobley. He'll go up against Wilson, and he'll make the basket.
Yeah, that should have been Wilson's man to block out. Just got a little bit lazy there on the defensive effort.
And Davis trying to bring it up here for the Pioneers. Well defended by Andre Smith. Davis does get it across court. He'll give off to Jack Fahey. Back to Davis. Davis to Westby in the corner. Westby, nice penetration. Moore had the seal, but just lost the handle on the ball. Governors pushing, and we'll have a charge. Nice play there by Simeon Davis. He's a little shaken up there, but he'll be all right. So he takes one for the team. Take a look at that nice defensive effort. He gets set, sorta, and gets the charge.
Feet weren't set all the way, but hey, he drew the charge. And you know, Simeon Davis is a nice role player. I mean, scores over 10 points. I mean, he averages about 7 rebounds a game with about 3 assists. Just a nice role player for the Hill Murray.
I think the best thing he's been doing tonight is he's just been playing pretty mistake-free, you know. And yeah, it looked like one too many there from Westby as he'll get called for the travel. Westby a pass-first type of player, so all of a sudden it looked like that passing lane closed. He took another step, and that was one too many.
He's made some good passes into the paint tonight.
Definitely. Drawing up the defense, finding a big man underneath. Cross-court pass goes to Mobley. He's D'd up by Westby. He'll switch it to the other wing. Kind of surprised here. Johnson been slowing it up a little bit when they don't. You know, they were really slow down in the half-court set.
You know, this is definitely not how they've been playing all night. They're definitely being more patient, just trying to bleed the clock a bit.
Wonder if this has to do with the 2-3 zone. It looks like
you know, it
Coach
just looks like they're
Vern
stalling,
Simmons
really.
is, content with the 4-point lead and the absence of a shot clock here in high school basketball.
You know, this has led to some controversy since last year, whether or not they should add one.
Now, I can understand the complaint, but Coach Vern Simmons is perfectly within the rules of whatever you want to do. So you got to say it's decent strategy.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's total, as you said, it's not in the rule book. So, I mean, he can get away, not really get away with it, but he can utilize that strategy. I mean, whether or not you want to make the argument how it is for gamesmanship, but that's.
We'll say it's not as exciting for the spectators and commentators. But Johnson stays with the ball there as they get a second chance. You know, best thing Hill Murray can do when, you know, Johnson wants to slow it up is just get stops and score when they have the ball.
Exactly. And you know what? Realistically, it might not be a bad idea for Hill Murray. I mean, they have a short bench. They got 6 guys who played like 20 games all year. I mean, it's, in a way, it kind of helps them.
Absolutely. We were talking about, you know, whether or not Hill Murray with their short bench could withstand the fast pace of Johnson. And, yeah, as you're saying, slowing it down that much, I mean, it basically gives these guys a breather. So that could, you know, that could definitely hurt Johnson in the later stretches of this one.
You know, honestly, if the Pioneers go 0-2 on these free throws, I mean, that's just as good as a turnover.
Definitely. So Mobley missing the first one for Johnson as they lead 46-42, just over 15 to go in this one. Mobley misses again, and Wilson gets way up there to grab the rebound. So yeah, I'm curious to see what Coach Brady Hannigan will do to counter the slow pace that Johnson has recently adopted. So Wilson goes hard, gets the foul, and he will go to the line. Sometimes you get so caught up in the excitement, you kind of forget your words. So good job. You know, Johnson did eat that clock, but they get the stop, and they'll have a chance for 2 free buckets here. Wilson can convert. And just in and out on the first. He's had a couple like that.
Not a bad free throw shooter on the year, about 77%. Just hasn't been able to get a couple in the fall tonight.
A lot of emotions running. Also given quite an effort, so.
A lot on the line tonight.
Yeah, maybe a little more exhausted than usual. And long on that one. Justice Murphy will pull in the rebound. Parker back to Murphy, just off to the right. And ball is last off St. Paul Johnson.
Yeah, that time the Governors were not looking to stall there. They were looking to push tempo.
So maybe Coach Vern Simmons just kind of looking to mix it up a little. Just kind of be unpredictable. Wilson gives into Chris Moore, didn't see the help coming. Wilson gets the loose ball up, and it's good.
Just a heads-up play there by Wilson. Saw his teammate was in trouble, goes in there, picks up kind of the loose ball, and gets 2.
So nice defense from the Governors to no avail as Wilson, scrappy, gets the loose ball and the lay-in. So they look inside, and Benton is fouled. He will go to the line. And Benton makes his first. And that'll increase Johnson's lead to 3 at 47-44. And we will have a timeout there. As a timeout coming in between the free throws. So when we resume things after the timeout, Savion Benton will have his second free throw.
Yeah, it's been kind of a weird start to the second half. I mean, it kind of started off as the first half was, with both teams getting an easy bucket in the first 30 seconds. And then the Governors did something kind of unexpected. They kind of stalled a little bit, chewed up at some of the clock, and now Vern Simmons just took a timeout in the middle of a free throw. Just kind of a weird timing and flow issue kind of happening in the second half.
Definitely with the, you know, the frenetic pace of that first half. This really seems like, you know, things have come to a creeping, you know, kind of a creep here. But I'm sure some fireworks will get going as the flow gets back into this one. We had a few fouls here in the early going. But yeah, I agree.
kind of interesting strategy there by Vernon Simmons. I mean, I don't understand what he was trying to do. I mean, being pressure, go, go, go has been your strategy all game, and then up to that point, you just kind of take a breather. Maybe he saw his team didn't have enough of a break at halftime, and they needed a little bit more.
Yeah, and you know, Hannigan maybe going over a couple different options of, you know, if we get this look from their offense, if we get that look. So maybe that was the reason for the timeout. So Benton's second free throw after the timeout, no good. Marshawn Wilson will rebound. Hill Murray trails by 3, just under 14 to go in this one. State tournament bid on the line. Davis hands off to Moore. Moore too strong.
Good look by Moore, just couldn't get it to fall.
Savion Benton kicks out. Andre Smith in the corner, just short. Ball's up, and it is not. Governor's unable to keep it alive, and Hill Murray will regain possession. So Westby with the ball. It's a little bit of pressure here from the Governors. Davis picks up his dribble. Passes to Marshawn Wilson. Wilson looks to make a move. Fadeaway jumper. Gets the roll and in.
Just an impressive shot by Wilson.
Call that the shooter's touch. Get a little love there from the basket. Malik Jones tries to set things up. Gives it off to Andre Smith on the wing. Smith kicking it back to Jones on the right side wing. Dangerous cross-court pass, finds Smith back again. And Jones will jack it up. He'll go so long. Wilson with the huge block off the rebound.
Wilson shows his elevation just to get that block. Good defensive play by him.
And that livens up the gym a little bit. Wilson coming from the other side to get the clean block. I think they had to send somebody to go find that in the locker room. Jones gives off. Eric Elliott. Jalen Mobley goes left, goes up. Good defense, Chris Jones, as he gets a big block. Simeon Davis though tries a one-handed pass, and it's taken away, and Mobley will finish. So it was a big turnover there from the Governors after they coughed the ball up themselves. Wilson will jack up a quick 3. That'll be just short. Westby does a good job hustling, throws it off. Johnson player, and it will stay with the Pioneers.
Good heads-up play there by Westby, just trying to get something going. Got on bounce off the Johnson player to keep possession.
Westby, a really scrappy player.
You know, right before that shot by Wilson, I just don't know if that was a good one. Should have looked off to a teammate.
He had a decent look, but yeah, I mean, just a little too hurried. He hasn't had to take shots like this all season, you know, quite this hurried with quite this much pressure. So it looks like we'll do it again. Westby fakes the 3. Wilson open, and no good. Looks like they're giving Wilson that jumper. And now Chris Moore will be called for over the back. And that'll be the 4th team foul already of this second half for Hill Murray.
After the Governors, you cannot leave Wilson wide open, and he was on that 3-point attempt. They have to know where he is on the floor at all times.
So checking into the game for the first time, be 34, Andy Mueller, senior forward for the Hill Murray Pioneers, as Chris Moore gets a little breather. Not sure if he's on 3 fouls now. That may be another reason they took him out. Mobley with the shot fake, gets in closer for 2, and it's good.
You know, on the other end, you can't let Mobley free either. You have to know where he is as well.
Great fake. Davis gives off Westby. Westby shoots. Long 2, no good. Rebound out to Johnson on the break. Jones. And he'll make the easy land. And Johnson has now opened it up to their biggest lead, 53-46. Davis gets it, throws up the 3, and way too strong. Comes off the glass. Mobley gets it, keeps it alive on the sideline, finds Jones under the basket.
Yeah.
And another fast break there for the Governors.
Yeah, Coach Hannigan's not happy. He has to take a timeout. I thought he should have took a timeout before that last transition bucket. Trying to get his team settled, but on back-to-back decisions to jack up a 3-pointer. no good. He finally takes it on when the Governors score another 2 points in transition.
Yes, sir. Brady Hannigan knowing how quickly Johnson can build the lead, how quickly things could change in this game.
And we look at the keys of the game and handle the pressure. I mean, they have been doing a good job in the first half. Not so much in the last couple of minutes. They have to be a little more patient. Their shot selection hasn't been good in the last couple of possessions. And, this is gut check time for them in order to handle the emotions that come with this big game on the stage and the pressure that the Governors are bringing. And also team defense. I mean, defense is what's going to have to get you back in this game down 9 points. I mean, they're looking to, and defense helps to score transition baskets for themselves and create offensive opportunities for the Pioneers.
Definitely, they've been doing a pretty good job so far with the team defense. It's just,
and it may not look like it on the stat sheet because this has been a high-scoring game, but it comes down to possessions. I mean, more possessions you have, it's just going to create a more urgency to score points. And so, I mean, it might be a little easy to say, this has been a high-scoring game and just, blame it on bad defense. But the thing of the matter is, this has been a fast-paced game.
Yeah, there's been a lot of shots, a lot of attempts.
Exactly, and this is exactly what the Governors want.
And I think, where Hill Murray has struggled is the transition defense. They can't quite keep up. When they set up their half-court defense, that's really when they find success, forcing Johnson to maybe shoot from the outside where Johnson hasn't been that successful tonight.
And another thing, too, is, they need to get offensive rebounds because they just get one and done. In the last couple of possessions, their possessions only lasted about 10 seconds. The Governors are looking to push the pace, and they're scoring pretty quickly.
Definitely, and with the Governors definitely have size advantage as well as depth, so limiting those second chances for them on the offensive side, as well as if Hill Murray can just capitalize on their open looks. Like Westby for three, just in and out.
Yeah, it was a good look. Simeon Davis, penetrated inside, found Westby wide open. It just did not fall.
So bad time for Hill Murray to go a little cold here as Johnson's starting to heat up a bit. Jalen Mobley giving off to Malik Jones. And Jones slowing. You wonder if Coach Simmons is really going to slow it down here after they opened up a 9-point lead. Mobley taking it into the paint, but he'll draw the contact and head to the line.
Yeah, definitely with being up 9 points, the Governors look like they wanted to be a little more methodical on offense. Maybe slow up the game just a bit.
I think they got Marshawn Wilson on that one. So Mobley with a chance to turn into a double-digit lead here from the line. And he will as he makes the first. And there you see, good job by Mobley getting into the paint and drawing the contact. So Mobley converts both of them. Johnson now up 11, their biggest lead of the night, as we are just over 10 minutes remaining in this one. Westby with it for Hill Murray. Seeks to penetrate. Gives off to Davis. Davis will be the last one to touch it, and it'll go back to Johnson.
The Pioneers have just been awfully sloppy on the offensive end. Our offense does not look good right now.
You can see where the pace and pressure of Johnson is maybe not only just wearing on Hill Murray physically, but a little bit mentally as well. It's been a tough task all night, and they're just showing a little bit of a few cracks, especially with Johnson opening up this lead. So yeah, looks like Coach Simmons wanted to slow it down to maybe try and draw Hill Murray out of that 2-3 zone and go man. Just because he knows with the man-to-man, he has the athletic matchups, the better one-on-one matchups on offense, certainly. So it looks like we'll go timeout, and that will be taken by Coach Simmons and St. Paul Johnson, their first of the half.
Yeah. The Governors have, I mean, they've been pretty picky on what they do with their shot selections here. And we just want to remind you to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/TV9sports. And also follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/TV19sports. I mean, we have a lot of interesting content. Be sure to like us and follow us on our social media.
Absolutely. So with 9.5 remaining in this one, how do you like Hill Murray's chances of getting back into it?
You know, they just have looked extremely sloppy here on the offensive end, and like that's what's gonna defense, and they're gonna just have to do a better job playing defense and offense here. I mean, the Governors are looking to slow the game down. I mean, they're content, like they've just been picky with their shots.
And nice job finding Jalen Mobley under the basket, and he will make it, and they'll open up to a 13-point lead. Westby taking it all the way. He'll come up short, and Moore will get called for the over the back. That is their 5th team foul, so the ball, Johnson will not have to go to the free throw line.
And that'll be his 4th foul, and that'll send him directly to the bench, and I'll bring in Andy Moeller.
I wonder how much of an emphasis they'll put on Marshawn Wilson on offense for Hill Murray. Do you think he'll keep the ball? Or
you know, he is the type of player that could take this game over. It'll be interesting to see what he can do in the last 9 minutes of this game.
I believe he had a stretch late in the season where 5 consecutive games of 30 points. Looks like it got knocked away, so no travel. And Marshawn Wilson comes away with it. And he'll find a teammate. Simeon Davis looks to push. He'll go left. Pass it out. Jack Fahey with the 3, and it's good. And Fahey trying to get his team back into it. His 4th three-pointer of the night. Oh, and just missing the alley-oop dunk, but Eric Elliott able to put it into the basket anyway. It's a nice follow-up by the Governors. Once again, just catching Hill Murray out on the break. As Elliott elevates, maybe gets a little bit of luck on the bounce. But regardless, it's 2 points. So Johnson leading 61-49. Hill Murray set to inbound.
You know, that'll be Mobley's 4th foul of the game. He's gonna.
Marshawn Wilson for 3, and it's good.
You know, back-to-back threes will help Hill Murray get back in this game pretty fast.
Just got to get some stops on defense. Andre Smith giving it off. Nice block by Simeon Davis. Air ball. Wilson gets the board. He'll kick it to Davis. Davis goes to Fahey. Fahey for 3. Maybe put it up a little too quick as it comes up short. And the rebound goes the Governor's way. And they will push the pace. Some contact there, but no foul. And Andre Smith will get the bucket.
Yeah, the Governors are just so good running in transition, just looking for the heads are up, and they're just looking for the open man.
Wilson goes up for 3. Short front iron. And looks like we'll have a foul there. 34, Andy Mueller called for the push.
Yeah, just lost a little control of his body, and just unfortunate to get that foul.
You're gonna have to be aggressive at this stage. And so that is the 7th team foul, 1-1 here for St. Paul Johnson. Looks like number 10, Savion Parker, will be the one shooting the 1-1. Parker long on the first attempt. Wilson gets the rebound. Wilson gives off to Westby. Westby gets in for 2, misses the jumper. And Andre Smith comes out with the rebound. He'll try to push the pace, but out of control on the no-look pass, unable to be saved by Parker, and Pioneers will take over with the ball.
Yeah, if you're Hill Murray, you have to settle down on offense. I mean, they're just settling for 3-pointers way too quickly. Just run your offense, just trying to get something going.
Yeah, understand that You know, there's a lot of time still left in this basketball game. It's not quite time to, you know, have to jack up threes. Just get twos and stops. Yep, twos and stops.
I mean, you can get back in this game by playing good defense.
There you go, Marshawn Wilson doing his best as he flew in there, just unable to control. Malik Jones driving the lane, gives off. Too strong on the lane, Eric Elliott. And it looks like Fahey will be called for the foul, going for the block.
Yeah, just mistimed it. He just draws the contact.
So almost getting the stop there, but nice job, Johnson, getting the offensive board. Looks like a few Hill Murray supporters have gone straight from the XL Energy Center where their team was in the state hockey tournament here to this game tonight. As Fahey maybe just getting a little too much in the arm on that one. Justice Murphy with the offensive rebound, and it goes, and the foul. How did he get that one in?
Yeah, that looked exactly the same kind of foul that Fahey had. Wilson just does it this time.
That's a big, big play for this Governor's team, trying to put an end to this one.
As your coach, it's just frustrating to see. I mean, this is free throws. It's fundamental basketball. Just block your guy out, and you'll get the rebound.
Murphy short on the free throw. Westby controls the rebound. He'll dish it off. Quirk hesitates, gets fouled. Can't get the bucket to go. And Malik Jones not happy with that call.
Seems a little surprised that the ref called the foul on him. But if you're South St. Paul Johnson, in order to win this game, all you have to do is make your free throws. And so far, they've just been 0-3 the last couple of times on the charity strip.
Yeah, definitely got to convert those chances if they want to win this one. Quirk making his first. Still try and keep Hill Murray into this one. Quirk just long, rebound. Clark slows it up. Give to Jones at the top of the key. And it looks like, yeah, Governors will be content with keeping this one way out at the perimeter.
Yeah, if you're Hill Murray, you kind of have to force them.
Up, Clark maybe lose control there, tied up. Boy, late whistle coming in, but they are gonna say jump ball. Possession arrow is still with Johnson. They will keep the ball.
Yeah, if you're the Hill Murray defense, you have to play heads up. I mean, we've seen the Governors that wanted to stall on the offensive end. They just have to be smart enough to recognize that and force them to do something with the ball.
Jalen Mobley under the basket, moves. Can't get it to go. Marshawn Wilson, big rebound. Wilson gives off to Davis, back to Wilson. Wilson, Hill Murray nearly loses it. Wilson finds some space in the paint. Can't get the basket to go. Rebound comes out to Johnson. And on the fast break, they'll get to two.
The Governors are just so fast looking to score in transition.
Looks like they send somebody intentionally on the break. When they see a shot go up, send somebody already going back. Not caring about the mismatch if they weren't, if they were able to get the offensive rebound. I want to remind you, we're always looking for volunteers here at the station. If you want to volunteer and help us present one of these wonderful games, feel free to call Arlen Becker. Hopefully we'll get that graphic back up for you. Sorry, play resuming real fast here. Just under 5.5 to play in the game here. Johnson leading by 15, looking like their ticket to the Target Center next week is all but punched. As that one's too easy. And might have a timeout there, Hill Murray. And we do. So Johnson with their biggest lead now, 17. And there we go, as we were saying just a second ago, always looking for volunteers. If you want to volunteer, feel free to call Arlen Becker at 651-747-3821 or email Arlen at onlocationtv.org.
You know, one of the keys of the game was handling emotions. And it looks like Hill Murray's been a little bit rattled tonight going here in the late in the game. I mean, after halftime, they've only scored 12 points. And as just an offensive scoring team, I mean, it's just hard to see, tough to swallow, like only getting 12 points after the break.
Well, and a team that, I mean, really has basically used 5 players. Quirk has got in there a little bit as a 6th player, and they have gotten a 7th player in the game, but they're basically operating with their 5.
Exactly.
So, you know,
I just don't know. Like, we knew kind of going into the first half if Hill Murray would be able to keep up and handle the pressure, and maybe they're just getting tired legs now late in the game.
I think so. With the athleticism and speed of Johnson, it's just been too hard for them. I think to keep it up for the whole.
Johnson's made it look too easy on transition. I mean, there's always a guy streaking down the floor looking to score and transition.
And it just seems like those buckets have been getting a little easier and a little easier. As you take a look at the other referee of this game, little boo. I don't know if that's what the fans are supposed to be saying to the big referees, but definitely want to give that kid props. He's been running up and down the court all night. Probably would make better calls than the real refs too, right? Just kidding. All right, we resume things here. And turnover. Eric Elliott tries to slam it down. Can't. He'll get it back, and he'll make the lay-in.
Eric Elliott was lucky to score there after the missed dunk. I mean, if you're Vern Simmons, just play fundamental basketball game and close this game out.
Yeah, but 3 goes up from Fahey. He missed. Wilson gets the rebound. He'll draw contact, and he'll go to the line.
Yeah, it's been a pretty tough second half for Wilson. Looked like he had a lot of scoring opportunities in the first half that came easy, and now it's just been a tough go for him.
We'll take a look at that almost dunk. Elliott very nearly throwing it down and get the bucket anyway.
You know, you're almost up by 20 points. I mean, just kind of get the lay in to go, and you don't need the dunk.
He forgot how tired his legs were. It's not, you know, right away at practice. So Wilson will make that first bucket. Yeah, Wilson had a tough go here this second half, but boy, he put in one heck of an effort here tonight, trying to do everything he could for the Pioneers. Maybe a little too much at times, but
it's definitely has not been from lack of effort. I mean, he's been trying to go there.
And, you know, it hasn't been for a lack of success either. He's scored quite a few points. He's done a lot of good things. So short from Andre Smith. Interesting, Johnson picking up the pace again all of a sudden, up 20. And maybe backfiring on him a little bit as Wilson goes the distance, makes it. Did you see how quick that inbound came from Andre Smith? Johnson wants to get that ball back on the other side of the court. It's like watching NBA basketball.
You know, there's been holes on the defensive end from Hill Murray.
Loose ball will stay with Johnson.
Right off of
Great
Fahey.
effort there from Fahey, yep. There's a shot of the Governor cheerleaders. They made the trek here to Washington Magnet School. So take a look at that last loose ball. So we definitely got the intensity and the effort we were expecting here tonight. No doubt. It's been a great atmosphere. Love this gymnasium here at Washington. Great crowds both sides. As I said before, it looks like some kids went straight from the XL Energy Center watching the Hill Murray hockey team here to cheer on the basketball team, even if the second half had already started. Great to see. Great support.
Yeah, Hill Murray has had a lot of athletic success so far in the winter season. I mean, their girls hockey team won their state title. Congratulations to them.
And yeah, the men's team opened up their tournament tonight, and the basketball team was looking to see if their season and postseason could keep going here.
You know, and the Hill Murray girls have won last night too, and they'll advance on another sectional game for them.
I believe we may have their semifinal match coming up here on Saturday on TP19 Sports, so look out for that one. This Hill Murray women's team looks to make it into the state tournament themselves. So Johnson with the ball and the big lead here late. Well, I think Jones just loses the handle on it.
Yeah, being down 15 points, you're just hoping to have a little bit luck on your side and just trying to force some turnovers and play good defense.
Yeah, hardly had to force that one. Murray gets it. Marshawn Wilson looking to go to his right, trying to cut back left, gets in the lane and makes it. Boy, and you wonder if they can get some stops and Wilson can maybe take over. This could,
yeah, I think
could get interesting.
That's Hill Murray's hope right now. I mean, the Governor's had three bodies around him, and he still comes up with the basket.
Elliott dish off Andre Smith, gets it. Nice up and under layup there by Andre Smith. And not sure, a little stoppage in play there. Davis gives off Jack Fahey. Fahey steps back, three, no good. Wilson tips it, Quirk tries to get it up over Justice Murphy. Murphy's got a bit of a height advantage there. Yeah, gets the block.
It's been a rough going for three-pointers for Hill Murray. They're just not getting anything to fall in the second half. First half, they were looking good, not so much in late going.
You got to wonder if that has anything to do with tired legs. That's a nice-looking inbound play. Good job by Marshawn Wilson drawing the foul.
Looks like the crowd's getting a little bit into Eric Elliott as he kind of mentioned something to the student section of Hill Murray.
Tensions definitely run high, emotions run high here in these games. As Wilson makes his first free throw. Both teams in the bonus. So Wilson will make it a 13-point game, 73-60. Eric Elliott gets it ahead to Smith. Smith drives and makes it.
Now, in order for Hill Murray to get back in this game, they have to play full court press, but that plays right into the Governor's hands.
Wilson taking it the whole way, and he'll make it. And it looks like they got a reach before the basket. That will put Johnson into the double bonus. So number 10, Savion Parker will get 2 shots here. Leading by 13.
You know, this may not be a bad strategy for Hill Murray if they have the bodies, is to foul Johnson when they have the possession. I mean, then they have to shoot free throws, but I mean, that might not be a bad way to go with how Johnson is shooting free throws tonight.
You just wonder if Hill Murray does have those bodies, but I agree. Get them on the line early, you know, make them win it. Parker does a good job, makes his first and makes the second. So it looks like the offense is going to go through Marshawn Wilson for Hill Murray. Simeon Davis looks to make a move. He'll kick out to Fahey. Fahey good for 3. There's a charge called. The ball will go back the other way. And Hill Murray will have a chance to make this a single-digit game with this possession. I mean, Marshawn Wilson's drawing so much attention that if some players can find, like on the last possession, Davis finding Fahey there, Fahey had a wide open look. So maybe if Wilson can draw some attention in the lane, kick it out, get some threes. A nice job by Quirk taking contact, and he is jacked up.
Just a good heads-up play by him, getting his feet set and drawing the charge.
I got to tell you, I never took a whole lot of charges when I played because that does not feel good. Quirk for 3. Too long. Not sure who that one's off of. Ref says it'll stay with Hill Murray.
No, not a bad look, just poorly executed shot by Quirk.
And Hill Murray really still into this one. Gotta love their effort. They're still just having fun competing out there, even down 12. Marshawn Wilson gets the inbound, drives the lane, contact, can't get the foul or shot to go. That would have been a nice one to get.
That would have been huge if he could have got that to fall. The Hill Murray student section would have erupted at this end.
So Wilson for 2 from the line. Short on the first. He's had a bit of a below average free throw night. Wilson narrowly gets the inbound and good drive to the lane. So Wilson can't make either. Simeon Davis rips the rebound down, kicks it out to Sam Westby. Westby just short as the ball bounces off the rim. Wilson with it from the floor, just can't get it to go.
Yeah.
And it looks like they'll have a foul.
So many opportunities where Hill Murray just could not get the basket to fall.
Wilson, you see, falling back, almost got it to go.
You know, it's
Maybe
definitely
should have passed that off to a teammate.
Has not been a lack of effort from Hill Murray. They just has not been getting their shots to fall in the second half.
Open look from for Westby from 3 there on that possession, can't go. Jones missing his first free throw as the Governors are in the double bonus. Boy, the second half has seemed about 3 times as long as that first one. And Jones once again off. Wilson getting the rebound. Wilson's got to be close to a double-double. Westby for 3, too long. Wilson gets that offensive board and is fouled. So Wilson, Marshawn Wilson ceasing to give up here.
Yeah, he's being aggressive. You can see it by the way he's getting to the free throw line so many times. But if you're Hill Murray, someone else besides Wilson has to step up. They have to be draining those shots when the opportunity calls.
And I believe they just said it was the 5th personal on Eric Elliott. And so he will foul out of this one. Savion Benton will be his replacement.
Yeah, I think Jalen Mobley is also fouled out earlier in the game. So, I mean,
I've noticed that Mobley has been out for a while.
So Johnson's allowed 2 of their 3 leading scores to finish this game, but it might be just enough.
And you can see the expression on Coach Vern Simmons' face is not that comfortable anymore. Nice effort by Wilson, getting both the defensive rebound and then an offensive rebound on this end. Just got to put in those free throws. As he's 0 for his last 4 from the line, and you got to wonder about tired legs. Just with that much effort given, your touch is just never going to be the same. Nice shake from Andre Smith, but great defense, help defense from Fahey. He'll give to Wilson. Wilson a 3, just off to the right. And nice job. Davis dishing off on the offensive rebound to Marshawn Wilson. Great look. So it's a 10-point deficit. Fahey just can't get the steal. And we'll have a foul.
Not necessarily a bad foul by Sam Westby. Just trying to extend the game and trying to get possessions for his own team. Just unfortunate to get that turnover.
I'm sure Coach Brady Hanning would take any type of aggressive foul at this point. Just trying to get any turnover. So we'll see if Cedric Clark can convert from the line for the Governors here. And he'll make the first, as the Governors are 1 minute and 37 seconds away from their second state tournament berth in 3 seasons. And Cedric Clark with a pair of a big pair of free throws.
Smart play by Quirk. Didn't have exactly a handle of the ball, just able to get it off the Johnson defender and keep possession.
Yeah, he handled that ball about as well as I handled that last sentence. Marshawn Wilson to inbound. But nice heads-up play by Quirk to keep the ball alive. Westby again for 3 and just short. As he'll get a foul in on Justice Murphy, sending the big guy to the line.
You know, Westby has had some three-point attempts, just has not been able to get them to fall here in the late going.
Yeah, just a bit off on a few of those, in and out. So Murphy's first free throw is good. And there we go, we hit the 80-point mark. And Murphy off on the second. Marshawn Wilson to Westby. Westby goes baseline, gets some contact, no call. Wilson rebounds, can't get that free throw to go. Westby can't control the rebound. And Johnson will go the other way. A little out of control. And will give Hill Murray the basketball back. Nice kick out. Quirk throws up the three and it's good. So we got a 10-point game here, under a minute to go. Hill Murray not fouling. They're going for the turnover. They get it. Fahey hits the three. It looks like they're trying to get a foul in. They do, finally. So Andre Smith able to just outrun the defense. So 80-73 here. 41 seconds left to go. 2 quick threes by the Pioneers.
Gives them a little bit of life going to the end of the game. Going to be coming down to free throws, which usually happens in the game of basketball.
And boy, Mobley and Eric Elliott fouling out may, in fact, come back to hurt the Governors here.
Well, they have a lot of minutes, and they're your primary ball handler, so it's going to affect how they run that transitional game.
Andre Smith, though, at the line has really stepped up here in the second half, I think, with Mobley going out. We'll take a look at the 2 3-pointers. Quirk from way out. Splash. So Andre Smith looking to hit a couple of big free throws here, and he's off on the first.
Student section doing all they can to will Hill Murray to victory.
And the Vocal Johnson support holding their breath a little bit now. But a big free throw knocked in there by Andre Smith. Gets the touch. Westby goes baseline, tries to drive, gets the foul. Foul before the tip in by Wilson.
Still a 3-possession ball game for Hill Murray. They're just going to be looking to extend this game. They're going to be fouling. They're going to be fouling Johnson quite a bit at the end here.
They're going to have press, full court press. Get that fouling right away.
They got to make their free throws.
Marshawn Wilson missed it. I think they've missed at least their last 5. That's big.
It's a huge point of momentum.
But I really think it just comes down to, not having much depth, being so tired after this, that free throws really become that much more difficult. So Westby nets one of the 2. Davis with a good foul.
Now you have to take it. I mean, Johnson inbounded it cleanly, and Davis was just forced to foul.
And I believe we're up 81-74. Took a while for that to change over. So 7-point game here. So Malik Jones will head to the line for a pair. Good on the first. Long on the second, rebound goes to Johnson. And a timeout.
How big of a play was that rebound by Savion Parker, just getting it off free throws? I mean, we've seen that mistake a couple of times from Hill Murray tonight, just not able to block out on free throws, and Johnson's been there getting it on the attempts.
I think also a nice heads-up job by Coach Vern Simmons calling that timeout when he saw his team get possession.
Oh, definitely.
Knowing that there was a risk of maybe turning it right back over.
And if you're Hill Murray, I mean, you're going to look to foul once again, and you're going to send the Governors back to the free throw line.
So the Governors definitely with a chance to put this one out of reach if they can convert from the free throw line. Although still only leading by 8.
Man, it feels a lot closer, doesn't it?
It sure does. I think it has something to do with what's at stake here tonight.
You know, it's just been a fantastic atmosphere. Both these teams' fans have shown up. You see everyone kind of lining the catwalk too, just supporting their team.
I definitely want to thank everybody, not only here, but everyone watching. And also want to give a big thanks to our production crew, everyone that makes this possible. Thank you guys. Great camera work, great production work as always. So with 31.1 left to go here, Section 4 3A final game. Johnson leading 82-74. And they will be inbounding after the timeout. No foul as of yet on this possession.
You know, the Governors are on an 11-game win streak, and they know how to win. They only have 3 losses on the season, and they've won a lot of ball games this season.
So Clark looking to inbound, gets it in, and quick foul there. That's a nice job. Jack Fahey getting the foul right away.
No, Hill Murray did exactly what they needed to do, just to get the quick foul. Barely any time went off the clock.
Smith good on the first.
Yeah, if it makes us, it'll make it a 4-possession ball game. We'll probably put this game out of reach for Hill Murray.
And he does indeed convert both free throws. And it looks like Hill Murray will throw the inbound pass away. And this one might be all but over. Looks like Coach Hannigan's going to want him to keep fouling. Certainly with the stakes where they are, I don't blame him for that.
Yeah, you got to play till the end.
So with 28 even left on the clock, I believe Malik Jones will head to the free throw line after being fouled there by Quirk. Number 5, Jimmy Quirk, senior guard. Basically the only bench player that they really rotated in a lot here this evening.
You know, Anthony Muller's been playing a little bit too for Hill Murray, but that was because Chris Moore was in a bit of foul trouble. Yeah, just Hill Murray just not able to have the depth to play at the pace that Johnson wants to play at, and it's definitely showing in the second half.
So Jones misses the second. Westby with the rebound. He'll push it up. Almost gets it to go. Ball will come out. Hill Murray will keep it. Fahey throws up the 3. Almost gets that. Wilson will get the offensive rebound. And we are under 10 seconds left to go. Jimmy Quirk will foul. But with 8.4 and a 9-point deficit, looks like St. Paul Johnson may be heading to the state tournament.
Yeah, Hill Murray kept up with Johnson in the first half, but it just got to be too much transition for them just to keep up pace.
But a good job staying in this one throughout. Almost got away from him there. I think Johnson opened it up to about a 17-point lead. Hill Murray able to get it down to 7, but just unable to convert from the free throw line and their late threes. So Westby on the final play. He'll come up short, or will there? Looks like we have a foul before the final horn here.
Yeah, Justice Murphy, I mean, there's no time on the clock. You just let him play through to the end.
They're not going to hit a 9-point layup.
Nope.
No point in even making any contact. Sam Westby will have a nice little moment here as his career comes to an end at Hill Murray.
And I see Marshawn Wilson there, closest to the screen. Number 23 for Hill Murray.
This will be his final high school game in what is a historic career for him.
Yeah, he had a really good career for Hill Murray, setting the single season record for points scored with 651 in the regular season. Just tough break for a kid.
That is a lot of scoring. 30.5 points per game in this sectional playoff. But Hill Murray will come up short as Johnson will be the Section 4 AAA champions and representatives at the state tournament next week. They win this one 85-78. You take a look at Jalen Mobley there, and we'll have some of his highlights. He was the leader for this Johnson squad all night long. Great job penetrating the lane, a lot of easy buckets, and being the general leader there out there setting the pace for this Governor squad.
You know, the Governors just scored at will in transition. You can see most of these Mobley highlights are in transition.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to try and slow him down, so tough job there by Hill Murray.
Yeah, the Governors just executed their offensive philosophy to perfection tonight.
So Johnson being the 1 seed, this one goes the way they thought it would. The 1 seed takes out the 2 seed in the section final. That'll be all for us. We want to thank you again for watching, and have a good night.